But here's the real twist. As Christian forces slowly pushed the Moors out in the Reconquista, ending with the fall of Granada in 1492, they gained access to all this knowledge. They absorbed it. They translated Arabic texts into Latin. They reopened all trade routes. And suddenly, Europe awakens. The Renaissance begins. Leonardo da Vinci, Copernicus, Galileo, the fathers of modern European science, were building on concepts preserved, refined, and expanded by Moorish and Islamic scholars. But what does this mean for how we understand history? Think about it. The Renaissance wasn't born in isolation. It was fueled by a transfer of knowledge that was systematically excluded from Europe during centuries of war and division. When the Moors ruled Al-Andalus, they created centers of learning open to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. This environment of intellectual exchange was unheard of in the rest of Europe, where heresy trials could end your life just for questioning doctrine. The Moors developed universities in Toledo, Granada, and Córdoba. Scholars traveled from across Europe to study there. The medical schools of Salerno and Montpellier in Christian Europe were heavily influenced by Islamic medical texts. It wasn't just science. Moorish Spain brought Europe new crops like citrus fruits, sugarcane, rice, and cotton, irrigation systems that transformed agriculture, architectural advancements, visible today in Alhambra's intricate designs, philosophical works that reintroduced rationalism and logic into Christian Europe, which had focused mostly on theological dogma. Even the so-called Age of Discovery wasn't Europe suddenly becoming explorers. Navigation techniques, the astrolabe, accurate maps, and star charts were refined by Islamic scholars. Without these, Columbus wouldn't have dared cross the Atlantic. So here's the question. If the Renaissance was born from Moorish knowledge, why don't we learn it that way? Why are we told the Moors were just invaders or footnotes in European history? Is it because if we acknowledge this, the entire idea of European exceptionalism starts to crumble? The narrative of a uniquely superior civilization falters when you realize their golden age was built upon knowledge preserved by the very people they later expelled. And deeper still, why is it called the Dark Ages in Europe, but a golden age across the Islamic world, West Africa under Mansa Musa, and Tang and Song China at the same time? Because history isn't just about facts, it's about who writes them. Imagine if we taught children that human progress is a chain of cultures building upon each other, not a straight line of Western advancement. Imagine how differently people would see the world today, with less arrogance, more humility, and more curiosity to learn from every civilization. Maybe the darkness wasn't ignorance. Maybe the darkness was a veil over the truth, hiding the interconnectedness of humanity and the contributions of people they didn't want us to admire. So next time someone tells you Europe awoke from darkness, ask them, dark for who? Because from Cordoba to Timbuktu to Baghdad to China, the world wasn't dark. It was thriving with light Europe had simply lost, and later claimed as its own rebirth. What do I know? Maybe history isn't what they told us. Maybe the darkness was never about lacking knowledge, but about who they wanted us to ignore. If you found that interesting, hit like, share this with someone who still thinks history is black and white, and subscribe for more truths hidden in plain sight. This is What Do I Know? See you next time.